This past year, most events pivoted from a physical space to cyberspace. Virtual events are still going strong in 2021, so we've invited Meghan Rothschild, president of Chick Media, to join us today to discuss what you need to consider when planning and hosting a successful online event. Hi, Meghan.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Virtual events seem to be here to stay, but I imagine you need a real cohesive plan. I'm wondering if you can tell me what are some of the important things that you need to consider.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So a lot of people right now are claiming to have virtual event fatigue. But the reality is it's where we're at, and a lot of organizations, including a lot of nonprofits, need to continue on this path. So I really think that the best virtual events have a theme. There's some sort of, there's something that's different that sets them apart, whether it's, a theme that goes throughout the event, some sort of incentive to watch. It's something that gets people excited and encouraged to actually tune in, because we're running up against people being on Zoom all day and having these virtual meetings, and just, really once the day is over, people kind of want to step away from their computer. So it really has to be something compelling.
You are so right. I've never heard of that, of virtual event fatigue, but it makes a lot of sense. It's just general screen fatigue. So I'm wondering if you can give me some tips on how you keep attendees engaged.
Yeah, so I think utilizing social media is really an effective tool here. Obviously, incentivizing people to tune in. So that might be some sort of contest that you're running within the virtual event, or maybe there's some sort of fundraising goal that you're trying to reach that you're going to announce live on the event. Maybe someone, there's a group of people who are up for an award, and you're going to actually announce the winner on that event. It's really about what's in it for me, right? So when you're thinking about hosting a virtual event, you really need to think about your attendees, the audience that you're trying to reach, what's going to inspire them to tune in. Because unfortunately right now, just an informative session, or a basic fundraiser, or something that you've already done in person and are just trying to kind of copy and paste it over to virtual, that's not going to work. So think about why an attendee would want to tune in and watch.
Well, what kind of content do you think you need to create to make it worthwhile?
Yeah, so I really like the idea of honoring people throughout your event. I think that really incentivizes people to tune in. If you think about in-person events, we attend those types of things to network, but also if a friend or a family member is being honored for some sort of, or recognized for something. So I think that's one great way to get people to tune in. And of course, there is the virtual component as well. The networking component as well, which I think is really tough to accomplish via virtual events, especially with a lot of these platforms. They really don't allow that interaction between attendees. But if you can work with a platform that actually allows people to network and engage with one another, not just with the host, I think that also incentivizes people to tune in, because everybody's still trying to maintain their networks as well during this time.
Now, are there any special considerations if it's a fundraising event?
Well, I think that if you're going to be asking people for donations live, there needs to be a really easy, cohesive way for people to make those donations. If you're asking people to pledge money, if you're asking people to support something specific that the organization does, like a specific program, there really needs to be kind of like a one-click link to, be able to make that donation, because you don't want to make it complicated for people. And you also don't want to have them navigate too far away from the actual virtual event that they're watching.
That's
so
a great
I think,
point.
Thinking about the tech piece is really important.
Definitely. Now, what is some of the best ways to create a buzz around your event?
I'm a big fan of watch boxes. That's something that I'm seeing some nonprofits and some for-profits do when they're doing these types of events, where whether you're selling tickets or you're offering the ticket for free because it's an employee event, they actually send you, they can ship you, or you can go pick up something that is tangible that you can actually utilize during the event. So I saw one nonprofit do their tea party, and they actually shipped out tea with a little mug that was branded, and people could sip along their tea while they were watching the virtual event. So something that makes people feel connected to the cause, as opposed to just sitting there and staring at a screen. What can they be holding in their hand, or eating, or drinking, or using to follow along with the event?
Yes, it's a clever hook to get them involved. Meghan Rothschild, president of Chick Media, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.